And we're live here with Alicia, freshly evicted from the BBOG7 house.
Alright.
Ugh, how annoying. Burn, bitches, burn. Just kidding. I love them all, minus a few.
Right. We good to go or no?
Yeah, you guys can start whenever.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, first off, I just want to say welcome to the very first Big Brother Online Games Season 7 chat. I am one of the hosts. My name is Cody. I was a house guest on Season 2. And then joining me is my co-host, Courtney. And then
Hi.
we are joined with the very first evicted house guest of Season 7, Alicia. Alicia, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, unfortunately.
Let's get right to it then. It's week 1. Everyone's basically entering the house for the first time. What do you think happened?
Well, a lot happened. But basically, I just feel like a lot of people already knew each other. And I only knew like 2 people, minus a couple people who were like, oh, I followed you when you were on All Stars. But aside from that, I didn't really know anybody, and I didn't really even get an opportunity to bond much because all of the people that I had been speaking to were clearly with the people who I was on the block with as well.
Right. I mean, would you say that you was probably a threat since you were basically one of the returning players?
I mean, let's be real. I'm always a threat.
Yes, girl.
But I mean, they really shouldn't have, because at the end of the day, regardless of if I'm a threat or not, which is irrelevant, I would have still been loyal and worked hard for whoever was working with.
But also, it could have been seen that you were a threat because you were a returning player. But the HOH was also a returning player, so it wasn't really. Was it a part of that? Had you been on the block if the twist had not been into play? Do you think?
I absolutely would not have been on the block if the wheel didn't fall on me. I'm 100% confident in that.
So when you are on the block and you're next to the final nominees, what is your campaign to stay?
Well, I got called into work, so I didn't get to campaign very much. But, you know, because I get up at 5:30, so I go to bed early, I wake up early. And had I been able to campaign, I really don't think it would have worked anyway, because it was Drew. Like, where's Drew going? Nowhere. You know, I mean, I was a little defeated as soon as the HOH told me what she was going to do, because we had already discussed something, and then she became or he, whatever. Yes, honey, I will be up in a minute. Oh, sorry. See, I'm getting in trouble. Y'all took too long. But anyway, like, she had told me one thing, and I believed her. And then when the situation arose for her to be able to backdoor Drew, I was like, you can't do that. I was like, if you put Drew up, I'm going to go home. Like,
was this conversation before he won veto or after?
Well, we had a conversation and an agreement before. And then after he won, he came to me and was like, this is what I'm going to do. I want this person out. This is the target, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, it's not going to work. I mean, hello? I'm like the queen of this bitch. I knew the shit wasn't going to work. But, you know, motherfuckers got to be hard-headed, and now here we are.
So do you believe that the decision to put Drew on the block was personal?
Yes. Because there's no way that you can tell me. No one can convince me, and anyone who did speak to me before I was evicted will tell you that I said, like, there's no way that Drew was going home this week. Absolutely not. I feel like no matter what, even if I wasn't up there and somebody else was up there, whoever was that third person that was up there was going to go home.
Right. Do you think he was possibly a bigger threat than what you was?
Absolutely. Do you know who he is?
I've seen him, yeah.
He's like, yeah, I've seen him, whatever. He ain't shit. You ain't shit, Drew. You ain't shit. But no, I mean, he's good at this game. He's good at it. And there's no way a player like him is going to go home on week 1.
So, would you say that he'd be like the puppet master of the season or no?
Believe it or not, based on how the votes went, I think that he's going to have a lot of control, because seeing how the HOH put him up or whatever, and we all knew he wasn't going anywhere. Dumbass move. Anyway. So aside from that, like, you can tell by the way the house was going, like, I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon. And I think that he will be in control a lot. He might not win all the competitions if he's smart, but he will have his hand in everything that's going down.
Mm-hmm.
Can I interject for a second?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because Alicia, you said that he wasn't going anywhere. Well, what if I would have told you, had you have campaigned just a little bit harder, you would have stayed? Because you actually would have.
Well, and I do believe that, because when I checked my phone on my break, I was talking to one person in particular, and I'm not going to say their name because I don't want to be jeopardizing nobody's game.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, girl, what the fuck? You need to campaign. You can stay here. But at the end of the day, I'm 35 years old. I run a business. I had to be at work.
Mm-hmm.
So in the night before, everybody went to sleep. And not to mention, I went into the house chat that morning, and I said, how come when Drew go on the block, all of a sudden my inbox is radio silent? Because as soon as Drew was nominated, like, I got a couple of like, oh, this sucks, man, what can we do? But then I never got any responses until I was at work, and it's like 3 hours before, eviction time. By then, minds are made up.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I feel that the people that I was able to talk to before I went to work, I do feel that those were the votes that I probably received. But I also feel like, regardless of if I campaigned or not, everyone's here to win this game. You're not going to win this game with Drew in this game. So it should be good that I didn't say anything to you. Who the fuck am I? I can be just your number. I can be just what you need to get that person out.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, they wanted to be backwards ass basic bitches and be like, oh, well, this bitch ain't campaign. Oh, she pulling of this, she pulling of that. Well, no, bitch, I have a job. I got to go to work. I own a company.
Okay, because that makes more sense, because the consensus in the House was that you just like gave up and that you weren't trying, and you only needed 2 more votes, and those 2 people that you needed were going to vote to keep you, but they didn't, because you never went to them and said, hey, you should keep me because of this, and they were on the fence like they wanted to keep you, but you just never went to them.
Right, and like I said, it is my downfall because I did get called into work. But on the same note, the same way that I could have reached out to them. It's not like when I checked my phone when I got a break, I had a million messages and everybody's like, oh my God, what are you doing? It was the same 4 people that I had spoke to that were like, girl, you need to go campaign. You need to go do this. And I was like, you know what? I'll type up this whack-ass generic message and copy and paste it to everybody, because that's all I could do. I had 5 minutes. And that's what I did. And if that's not good enough, I mean, that's their ass. I hope Drew takes it down just because I went home in week 1. Just because.
So this right here was your 3rd outing, wasn't it? Because I know you played it during my season 2, and I think you played another time after that, didn't you?
To be honest, minus whenever he changed it and restarted the seasons and all that crap, this was really this was the first game I ever played. So anytime that Antoine reaches out to me, I will always play. So I did pretty well my last time playing a Victoria. They tried to call bitches. I was still there when you was gone. Remember that? So, it worked. But this time I really was going to play like when I won. Because why not? It's fun. It's a game. And I have been here a couple of times. But who else hasn't been here a couple of times? Name one person on this cast that has never played before.
Right.
And I will tell you they're irrelevant. So I mean, it was a curse. It was bad to be up in week 1. If this would have been any other time with me on the block, I would have played the game like I know how to. It was just a tough break.
So now that you're out and you look at the next week, where who's HOH this week? Dave won HOH and his nominees.
Yep.
How do you look at that? Is it like, okay, good move? Is it like whatever? Is it like, what is he doing? What do you think about this week?
To be honest, I couldn't even tell you who Dave was for once. No clue. So he probably would have put me up this week anyway, because I don't even know who the hell he is. But I did look, because I watched the little ceremony thing or whatever, and I feel like, I mean, to me, it looks like pretty much a wasted week. Oh, I know I sound horrible, but I mean, I don't see, from my standpoint, just from what I knew from being there, I don't, everyone up there, I would think it would have been mixed up a little bit. Like maybe someone who is really, really strong, not saying the people up there aren't strong players, because that's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying that I just feel like the people that are being targeted right now this early, I just don't think it's good gameplay, in my opinion.
So, since you're out of the house now, I mean, who do you think is probably the fan favorite to win Big Brother 7?
I would think either Drew, Mimi, or hold on, I need to look at those names because there's some good people in there. Max, was Max in there? What's his name? The guy who was on the block with us?
Yeah, Max.
I think he stands a good chance. I don't think, is it Ryan? I don't know how to pronounce the name.
Ryan.
Whatever. I don't see him winning, just because I feel like he makes emotional poor choices.
Okay, yeah, I want to touch on Ryan a little bit because you guys had like a good friendship, and it seemed like you had like a deal the first week, but then like that all went away.
He was a liar. Well, see, you know me, so you know that I play like an honest game. I refuse to tell a lie. I don't lie in real life, so I'm not gonna lie in a game. So if you tell me if you win the veto, you're going to take me off the block, I fully expect that, no matter what the consequence is when you do it. Because he said this before we even played. Like, he was like, if I win, I'll take you off. And I'm like, whoa, I don't put out guarantees like that, because if I win, I might not want to take you off. So I don't say, anything I don't mean. So then when I approached him after it, and I was like, this is...
I think she's having connection issues. Alicia? I hope she isn't still talking.
Yeah.
I'm just going to edit this little part out here.
Okay. Alicia?
Your like signal's going out.
Who's to say you're not doing that to everybody else?
Your signal went out like for that entire explanation.
Yeah.
Can you repeat that?
The Wi-Fi. Basically, it was a bitch-ass move, and he will go nowhere for making bitch-ass moves. But yes, we had a deal. No, he didn't keep it. So yes, I was very, very salty. But I still was willing to try to do whatever it took for me to stay in the game.
Yeah, because I mean, Ryan, he won the first HOH, and then he wins POV. So you figure if you guys had some type of deal, he would have saved you and pulled you off.
Right. And I never asked him to. Like, I never was like, oh, if you win veto, will you save me? Because I'm not that chick. I'm all about, I'm going to save myself. If I don't win the veto, then you know what? I'm going to go use my social game. But and then he was like, oh, go ahead.
So what's his explanation after that? Like, after saying that he's going to use it on you and then just not? What does he say? Like, I'm sorry, oops. Like,
right. He was like, OMG, I know we're going to go far. I was like, no, we're not. I was very short with him. We're not going anywhere because you didn't save me. And then he's like, well, let me talk to Antoine, because if I saved you, the wheel would have been used again. I don't give a fuck about the wheel being used again. Bitch, take me down. If the shit falls on me again, okay, so be it. But he's like, oh, I can't. And then a couple people came to me and they were like, he probably did it because, you know, he was like, if he took you down, he would have been a target. You're going to be a target because you put Drew up. Shut up.
Mhm.
You know, I hate stupid excuses. It might be a game, but, I mean, keep it real, people. You can't be phony all your life.
Right. Because, I mean, as everybody knows, I mean, with Big Brother, you're either going to play clean or dirty, so.
Right, and I always played clean, and that's probably my downfall because they know I'm a straight shooter.
Okay. Was there anything else that you want to say or add?
I want to just tell everybody good luck. I'm not bitter or salty unless your name is Ryan. And I hope to see more twerking and dancing. And for the love of God, quit playing this motherfucking game like you on BB17, bitches. Okay? Shit. I just want to know who would be Audrey up in this bitch for real. But other than that, I wish them luck. I'll be watching every little thing you guys do. I can't wait to see who wins.
All right. Well, hey,
Right.
thank you for joining us, Alicia.
Anytime. It was a pleasure.
Cody, if you're talking, your audio went out.
Oh.
Well, he pulling to me. Talking with no service. What you doing with your life?
Yeah.
Speaking of Cody, were you talking shit about me when we played together?
Rehashing the past.
Right. While we're here, I'm already in trouble now. It's all good.
No,
That's
because
just like.
I remember I tried to form an alliance with you back in season 2, though.
Yes, and I was honoring that, by the way, just for the record.
Yeah, then somehow Quinn got expelled.
Oh, yes. I loved Quinn, though. He was like my little fairy. I loved him. Put some sprinkles on his ass. But, yeah. Oh, and you know what's really a blower since we're bringing up old shit? If Jay don't shut the fuck up. OMG. I am so sick of his raggedy ass, but you know what? I just let him have it because he's rude as fuck for no damn reason. He's just such a hater.
Wait,
It's
who?
a motherfucking hater.
Jay. Jay.
You unfollow me, right? And then you're gonna ask David, "Oh, what do you mean? Why is Alicia a fave? Bitch, get off my nuts! Like, why am I still in your mouth? It's been like a year and a half.
Oh my God.
Why are you still here? Don't worry about what the fuck David said. Worry about your own shit. So then you followed me so you could talk shit? Bitch, get off my timeline. What are you doing here?"
Right.
He's a mess, but I think we just have a love-hate relationship because he's always going to be rude as fuck, and I'm always not going to give a fuck. So, it works out.
Well, thank you for playing again and keeping it real like you always do.
Absolutely. Next time. Please don't cast me with a bunch of backwards, basic bitches. Thank you.
All right, well, I think that's it for this interview. Like I said, thank you for having us, and I'm going to go ahead and take us off air.